Thank you. Hello, denizens of the internet. This is a former network executive review of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Episode 2. Have you seen it? There will be spoilers. Wow, I really had to sleep on this episode. Initially, I thought it was okay. If you're a Trek fan, the trick is to now pretend you never watched any Trek ever before in your life. Then, when I thought about it some more to write this review, I realized it was complete trash. I honestly don't care about canon anymore. I mean, really, I just want a good story with something that resembles future thinking and some science. I have no interest in crapping all over this show for views. I think all fans of Trek just want to see some good Trek, but this wasn't it. The setup was kind of interesting. The gang encounter an asteroid that is going to impact a planet and kill all its inhabitants. So Pike and the gang decide to blast the asteroid off into another direction. How? They just happen to be at the Persephone system, at this particular planet that just happened to be inhabited at the exact moment an asteroid of the exact size required to inflict such planet-killing damage just happened to arrive to do such a thing. Look, two galaxies can pass through each other, causing no damage. But these starships always end up at the right place at the right time, somewhere in the vastness of space. Anyway, the asteroid ends up having a force field, which of course is weird. Not quite as weird as the opening crew barbecue scene in Pike's quarters, where we find out that Uhura is massively uninteresting and irritating. And for no reason at all, she starts humming a Kenyan folk song. Pike, of course, notices, which means this is a smoking gun, folks. Get ready for this to become a plot device. Back to the story. A landing crew is assembled to investigate the unusual asteroid. Now, this is already looking to be a mysterious and very dangerous mission. So, of course, Uhura, a totally raw recruit with absolutely no previous landing experiences, is tapped to go because of her super fabulous linguistic skills, even though she is filled with doubt about being on a starship in the first place. That's who you want on your mission. And besides, there were no life forms detected on the asteroid, so of course you're going to need a linguistics expert. Yeah, she's my first pick. Singh, Spock, and Sam Kirk round out the crew. They land on the asteroid thing and find a chamber where there's a giant Fabergé egg. Things were somewhat tolerable up to this point, but then Spock announces the standard trope. The atmosphere is breathable in this chamber. Of course it fucking is. I guess it was his fancy pants spacesuit that indicated this. He didn't use a tricorder, which did bug me. What bugged me even more was at this point Spock would use a tricorder and analyze the composition of the strange object and maybe even the chamber? Give us some science, please. No, they just stared at the damn thing and asked Uhura if she could translate the lumpy parts on the egg. Instead of saying, "I am not a fucking phrenologist," she says, "Sure, she'll give it a try." Then Sam Kirk, doing his best Sam Rockwell from imitation from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, just walks up to the glowing giant Fabergé egg and gets zapped almost to death, which is the first thing any trained scientist would do with a mysterious glowing object that they just encountered and know nothing about. Then, later on, just in the nick of time to add a mysterious alien to this story, an alien vessel arrives, or as Chekhov would have said, Wessel. And the usual shit happens. The landing crew is stuck on the hunk of rock. The force field is popped back up again somehow. Uhura, while staring at the Fabergé egg and touching her iPad mini, turns to Spock and tells him that she thinks Nurse Chapel has the hots for him, which is true, but you just know that this is going to be the start of a three-way between T'Pring, Spock, and Chapel. And of course, this is the most appropriate time to bring this shit up, right? Anyway, things are looking bad. And because she's nervous, Uhura sings that damn Kenyan song again. Not the Pointer Sisters or something quirky that could have delivered a really good joke later on. Of course, the chamber starts flashing like a Studio 54 discotheque. It's music that does the trick. Why didn't I guess that would be it when Uhura started humming at the party? Oh wait, I did. That created a sonic reaction, and then they all got into some barbershop quartet stuff or Run DMC. Again, how Uhura figured out the audio sequences to lower the shields, I don't know. I'll accept that MacGuffin. On the bridge, the crew can hear Uhura singing. Wouldn't it have been way cooler if Pike would have said, "Hey, that's a Pointer Sisters song"? Of course, but that would be funny and a bit too much like something from TOS. Anyway, they escape. Sam is saved. Spock does this thing in a shuttle. Couldn't understand the reasoning behind, but it involved flying through debris like a video game. The asteroid, which turns out to be sentient, doesn't bash into the planet, but seeds the atmosphere so it rains on the inhabitants who seem exceedingly happy. And then the asteroid zooms off to do other mysterious things. Pike is warned by the aliens who showed up out of nowhere to not follow the asteroid around again, or you're gonna be in big trouble. Yeah. And that's it. I might be able to stomach this show if they would just pretend to have protocols and display some scientific training. Anson Mount's hair once again anchors the show without a doubt. And seriously, the only reason I would watch another episode would be on the strength of Anson's performance. I fully understand that we are living in different times from when TOS first aired. The Star Trek of that era very much followed on the heels of the kind of storytelling that we would find on The Outer Limits and The Twilight Zone. Right after watching this episode of SNW, I quickly dug up a Star Trek episode. Tomorrow is Yesterday, and watched that. The episode was where the Enterprise is flung back to the late 60s and they are forced to beam a fighter pilot onto the Enterprise. Right now, we're getting Diet Trek. And that's too bad. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.